but just to have a message to your children ever. They may one day get to hear this, and hopefully they do when they're ready to hear it, when they're old enough. Anything you want to say to them? With you. Hey everybody, it's me, Josh with Hope, and tonight I'm asking for James Van Der Beek. Many of you have requested for me to ask for him, and of course I can't ask for everyone that passes, but I try to ask for people that I feel some kind of connection or I feel inspired to ask for. And I'm going to tell you why I wanted to ask for James. Now, I just posted the session asking for Catherine O'Hara, who passed from, now that we know, a pulmonary embolism, complications due to rectal cancer, which I did not know. None of us knew that she had that. But here, James Van Der Beek at 48 years old, passed from colorectal cancer. He left 6 children, a wonderful wife, and a lot of fans and a lot of friends, the people that were really pulling for him. And his birthday will be coming up, would have been coming up March 8th. One of the biggest messages that he had was for people to get a screening done. They changed the age from 50 to 45 for men to get that screening done, a colonoscopy. And, it's like the number one leading cause of death for, I think, men under 50 in this country, which is really wild. I did not know that. With that said, I just turned 45 in the beginning of the month, and I immediately scheduled my colonoscopy for the end of this month. So I'm going in to do that, and I really felt compelled to ask for James to give him a chance to come through. Last night I gave him an opportunity to speak, and he did come through, but not that well. It's really interesting, I should say. It's really interesting how some people will come through very well at first. Some need a couple of opportunities. I asked for Selena not too long ago, and she came through very well. Catherine O'Hara, she did very well. James had some really good messages last night, but I figured I would give him another chance tonight, and that's what I'm doing. Now, again, it's important that I state this now, that every video I'm posting, I have to go through my process. It deserves me going through my process. Now, if you've been watching me a long time, you can always go down to the bottom of the video, to the scroll bar, and see that the video is broken up into chapters. And you can skip the long-winded explanation, but I cannot take the chance of posting these sessions without the explanation of what I'm doing, what I'm using, how this works. There are too many nasty haters and skeptics out there that try to discredit this work, and they're dishonest. That's the issue, is that they're not being honest. They have their beliefs that this is just fake, that this is impossible, and that I'm wrong for asking for these people and giving people an opportunity to speak. It can't be real. So I need to explain this process. This work deserves that. So I'm going to tell you right now, as an experienced medium that's done over 4,500 readings, worked with institutes, had PhDs study my work with amazing results, worked with a police department recently, I can connect with spirit on my own without equipment. But I like to incorporate equipment when I can, to give spirit back a chance to speak. Now, they don't have a voice like they did when they were here. And when I record them on a voice recorder, you hear an EVP, which is a whisper. It doesn't have a tone like my voice or your voice does here. So what we do is we give them back a voice. Now, we don't give them back forward speech. because then you get false positives. So I use the Hope Voice Signature method by using reversed, slowed, chopped up human speech. When I can give back a person their actual voice, which I believe enhances the connection when doing this. Sometimes I can't do that because I don't have their voice, and I'll just give them a regular voice and they'll use it. They can do that. But, people say, oh, it sounds like him. Well, it sounds like him because I'm giving them back their actual voice. But when you hear their inflection, when you hear their cadence, sometimes you hear an accent, which is really remarkable because there's no accent in reversed, chopped up speech. So it really does, it can show that it's really them coming through. Any of you can validate this work, and it's very simple. You take any of these responses that are coming through through the box, and you can reverse them. And what you will find is that you will hear bits and pieces of actual words from the original audio that I'm using. And that's telling you that I'm telling you the truth. This is what I'm using, reverse speech. It also shows that I'm not laying in clips from an interview to fit my narrative, I'm not using AI. So it's very easy to validate the work I'm doing. So when someone says, oh, it's fake, it's just fake, or a debunker says that, they're not debunking me, they're being dishonest. And that's all there is to it. So, do the homework, do the work, reverse the responses, hear that there is original audio when reversed, and that validates the work. Okay, I don't want constant sound coming out of the box. It would make it too hard to see when they're actually using it. So it stays silent, and when I ask a question after, I turn the noise gate. I let some of that sound bleed out, and they're able to form their responses. I don't always hear everything in real time. I only hear about 20% of what they say. I have to go back and review these sessions in order to understand. So anyone that's going to be successful, any of you can do this work with my app or a box, any of it. But in order for you to be successful just like I am, you have to dedicate patience, persistence, using your connection, going back and reviewing your sessions. It's part of the process. So don't think you're going to run a session and hear everything in real time or review it once, and if you don't hear anything, go, oh, they didn't come through. No, you got to keep going back through and listening. That's how that works. I do not believe these are demons. Okay, I hear that ridiculous response all the time from people. That is nonsense. I've been doing this 14 years. Nothing but positive, love-filled responses, talking about God, being with others, helping others, sharing love. I'm sorry, those are not demons. I live a very blessed life, and I explain that to anyone. So a lot of nonsense, a lot of misconceptions, and it's a lot of fear-based thinking, and it does no good. But people are going to be people. I get that. And so many of you that have been following me for so long understand how real this is and how positive it is. And so I'm grateful to the ones that are believers and that have done the work and that are intelligent at using their minds, using their intelligence to understand how real this is. If anyone's interested in what I am offering in sessions, readings, my new app that's coming out, the one that's been out for 5 years, the HSB-PRO for the computer, any of it, Hopeparanormal.com. You can go there and see it all. You can even check out a really cool article I wrote a couple years ago that really outlines everything, the whole debunker thing, the haters, the fakes and the frauds I talk about. So that's important, it's all in that article. And so now I'm just going to go ahead and focus and connect and see if James will want to come through again. James, I felt like I saw you come into the room casual, wearing a pair of khakis, a white collared shirt, short sleeve shirt. You look healthy. You look okay. Do you think I'm seeing you okay? Yeah, yes. Okay. How do you feel? How are you now on the other side? I know it feels new, but how are you on the other side? Now, sometimes when someone's young and they pass early, um, they didn't want to die. I know Shannon Doherty passed from cancer. She was like 50 something years old. She did not want to pass, of course. And she said it was a little rough, but that she was safe in the light, being guided. Some people hear these clips and they go, well, heaven's supposed to just, you're not sad or you don't feel anything. And that's not the case. That's not true. You can be okay. You can know you're safe and in the light, but still, you wanted to live and be with your family. So it's not just like all of that just goes away once you're on the other side, correct? Every time you spoke about your wife, Kimberly, who just seems like just an amazing woman who supported you, and you're going to be around her and your family. Are you around them now? Were you just around them, or are you around them now? Being around them now? What's it like for you on the other side? I mean, I've asked this question to many people. We get very similar answers, that it's love, it's bliss, it's wonderful. But can you share what it's like on the other side? Say more light, or that something about light. I saw your wife made a statement that there's a lot that she wants to share about, more about you, but she's taking the time with her family to kind of take this in and process. And, do you have any message for her ever? And I know your children are young. They're young like mine. You were 48, I'm 45. So, we're close to the same age. And so, I have 3 wonderful daughters that range from 14 to 2. And you have a 6-year-old that you said that, kept calling it butt cancer. And you were saying, maybe we can not call it that or whatever. I don't know. That was the way they were dealing with it. But just to have a message to your children ever. They may one day get to hear this, and hopefully they do when they're ready to hear it, when they're old enough. Anything you want to say to them? With you. I heard you say with you. And that's really the most important thing, is that you're going to be with them. I asked Catherine O'Hara, what message that she has for her family. She says, I won't miss their life. Meaning I won't miss what's going on in their lives. I won't miss anything that happens in their life. I'll be there. That she's settled on the other side. And that was just a few days after her death. And so do you feel kind of settled on the other side already? Do you feel, okay over there? How do you feel about this process? I like to ask people about it. You may say it's tough or it's hard or, whatever. I don't know. But that's why I like to ask. It's, I don't think that you probably saw anything like this when you were alive, or maybe you wouldn't have believed in it. I don't know. More and more people are coming to understand how real this is, and Of course, there will always be skeptics and naysayers and all that, but I think more and more people are following this work, following what I'm doing. What do you think of this process? What do you think of this? All right, well, one thing I like to do at the end of every session, whether someone died in a traumatic way or old age or young or whatever, I like to pray for them. And I like to invite everyone else to pray for you as well. That's what I do. I like to shut off the cameras and just stand and pray for a few minutes with you. Will you pray with me at the end when I turn off everything? All right. Thank you again. I want to thank you for last night, your efforts. There were a few responses that I was able to hear. I asked you about being on the other side and what that was like and how it was for you, and you said that you're just around people. I take it that you are around others on the other side. I hear you saying that there's more light over there, and that God was there. Is that true? Are you feeling the light and that you saw God on the other side, or you had an experience with God? Okay. I'm listening, but I'm not going to stress out about trying to understand everything right now. It's a process, but it works, and it's a wonderful process. And sometimes it takes a little bit more effort on my part, for this to work for both parties, and that's just something that I'm used to. So it's all good. Just hearing that you are experiencing more light on the other side. I asked you about a message to your children, and you said that you're with them. You said with you. So are you watching over them now? Are you around your children already? Of course, now. I did ask you about your wife, Kim, and how amazing she has been for you, a pillar of strength for you and your family. And I just want to give you yet another chance to say anything to her, about her, anything you want to, convey. I saw this wonderful picture of Alfonso, him next to you. I saw, a post from Katie Holmes. A lot of love is being sent to you. And are you hearing these things? Are you feeling the love from these people that are here still? I asked you about a message to the fans. I didn't hear much that came through, but I want to ask you again about, is there a message, anything that you want to say to your fans, the people that are requesting that I ask for you, the people that want to hear from you? Is there anything that you would have done differently in hindsight? I don't know that you would have or could have, but is there anything that you would have done differently now in hindsight? God bless you, man. Again, thank you. And continue to shine, continue to be in the light, be around your family. And, who knows, maybe one day I get to meet you on the other side. I hope to meet so many of these wonderful souls that I've connected with, well-known and regular people. I hope I get that opportunity one day. So God bless you, brother. Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to shut off the cameras. As I say at the end of every session, I'm going to say a prayer again for him. I'm going to invite all of you, as you're seeing this, to just take a few moments. I mean, even if you just stop the video or close your eyes and just say a little prayer for him, say a prayer for his family, that they're able to work through this grief and feel the presence of James in their lives always. And again, I thank all of you always. And until next time, thank you.